Hello, welcome back. Hey, when did life start moving so fast? I'm Fred, and here we talk about business, investments, training, and real life, all from my personal perspective. And today's question, it's one that I think every adult eventually asks themselves. When did life start moving so fast? Have you ever stopped and really thought about that? Because it's a strange feeling. One day you are a kid, bored on a random Tuesday afternoon, thinking the weekend will never arrive. And the next day you are an adult, saying things like, "Whoa, it's already December again." It feels like the years are shrinking, like time itself is accelerating. But is it really? I remember when I was younger, hearing older people saying something very specific. They would tell me, after you turn 18, everything starts flying by. At the time, I didn't understand what they meant. A year still felt like forever to me. Summer vacation felt endless. School semesters felt long. Birthdays took ages to arrive. And now I blink and another year is gone. So the big question is, did life actually get faster? Or did something else change? I have a theory about this. I don't think time itself changes. I think our perception of time changes. And I believe a big part of that depends on the kind of life you are living. Let me explain. In my professional life, for example, I worked for many years with construction projects. And construction, it's a great example of something that works against this feeling that life is passing too quickly. Because every project is unique. Every project brings new problems, new challenges, situations that you've never faced before. And when you are constantly dealing with new experiences, your brain pays attention. I'll give you a crazy real example. One time on a construction site, we had just drilled the foundation rolls, the big deep holes where the structure begins. Everything was ready. The next day, I arrive on the site and discover that someone had thrown a dead horse into one of the holes. Yes, you heard that right. A dead horse. It couldn't have fallen in by accident. The hole was narrow. Someone literally decided to use our construction site as a grave. So, now imagine the situation. I had to figure out how to remove a horse from a foundation hole, find a crane, organize the workers, deal with the smell, solve a problem that I had never even imagined I would face in my life. That was not a normal, repetitive day. Another time, we had a massive hailstorm, and I'm not talking about a little ice falling from the sky, especially here in Brazil. I mean a storm so intense that the entire construction site was covered with 30 or 40 centimeters of ice. It looked like snow. Everything stopped, everything changed. We had to adapt, clean, reorganize, solve new problems. And those are just extreme examples. Even on normal days, every construction project has different terrain, different logistics, different technical challenges. So, when you live through experiences like that, the year doesn't feel empty, it feels full. You remember it, and I believe that's a key point. Now, compare that with a very different kind of life. Imagine someone who works, for example, in an office, doing basically the same tasks every day. Same desk, same computer, schedule, same commute, same routine. Month after month, year after year. For that person, it's much easier to feel like time is disappearing. because brain stop paying attention to what is familiar. Routine creates repetition, and repetition compresses memory. And when memory gets compressed, time feels faster. So I think this is one of the main reasons adults feel that life speeds up. Not because the clock changed, but because life became repetitive. Now, here is the problem. Most of us cannot just quit our jobs and go live on a sailboat around the world to create endless new experiences. I actually saw a video recently of a guy who lives exactly like that here in Brazil, sailing from place to place, waking up in different countries, different ports, different cultures. For someone like that, life probably feels very long and full because almost nothing is repetitive. But let's be realistic. That's not the life most people can live. Most of us have responsibilities, bills, work, obligations, and adult life is exhaustion. So, how do we fight this feeling that life is slipping through our fingers? I think the answer is intentionality. We need to consciously create experiences. Because if we don't, routine will swallow everything, and suddenly 10 years are gone. The truth is, time doesn't speed up or slow down. What changes is our perception of it. And perception is shaped by novelty. When you are a child, everything is new. Your first day at school, your first bike, your first friend, your first video game, your first trip. Every year is filled with first times. That's why childhood feels so long, because the brain is constantly recording new experiences. But as adults, most of our first times are already behind us. Driving a car is no longer exciting. Going to work is normal. Paying bills is routine. Even relationships can become predictable. So life starts to feel like one long repeated loop. And the more we live in autopilot, the faster the years seem to go. That's why I believe we need to fight back against that. Not necessarily by doing extreme things, but by creating small breaks in the routine. Learning something new, traveling somewhere different, taking, taking on a new challenge, starting a new project, meeting new people. Anything that wakes your brain up. Anything that forces you to pay attention. Because attention is what stretches time. Looking back at my own life, I realized something interesting. Some years felt like they disappeared, but other years, especially the ones full of challenges and changes, feel long and meaningful in my memory. The difference wasn't the calendar, the difference was how engaged I was with life. And that's encouraging because it means we have some control over this. We can't stop time, but we can decide how deeply we live it. And maybe that's the real reason here. Life doesn't get faster, we just stop noticing it. So the real question is not when did life start moving so fast? The question is, what can I do to slow myself down enough to actually live it? To create moments worth remembering, to stop just surviving the days and to start experiencing them. Because one day we will wake up and realize something scary that the years don't wait for anyone. So I want to finish with a question for you. When did you feel that life started passing too quickly? And what are you doing today to make it feel full again? Write your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, my friends, and I'll see you in the next video.